Good morning, children. Today I'm going to show you how to bake a banana bread. You need to preheat your oven to 180 degrees, and you should prepare your baking dish in advance with butter and flour. We are going to use again dry ingredients and wet ingredients, and we're going to mix them in different bowls. For the dry ingredients, you need 240 grams of flour that we are going to sift, 175 grams of sugar, a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and half a teaspoon of baking powder and half a teaspoon of baking soda. If you do not have baking soda, you can use 1 teaspoon of baking powder. For the wet ingredients, you need 2 eggs, 2 or 3 ripe mashed bananas, 50 grams of butter melted previously in your microwave, and a teaspoon of vanilla. You will need to bake your banana bread between 45 to an hour in the oven. You should pinch it when it gets to 45 minutes and check if it's already cooked or not. Okay, so as I always tell you, we are going to make a difference between the dry ingredients and the wet ingredients. I'm going to start with my flour. Today I am going to put my flour in this strainer, but if you don't have one like this one, you can always use one of these, okay? This is 240 grams of flour that I am sifting with my strainer. Okay. Now, I'm also going to put the sugar in here. It's 175 grams of white sugar. And here I have prepared a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of cinnamon powder, and then this is something different because normally you are used to using baking powder, but today I'm going to combine and I'm going to use baking soda and baking powder. They are slightly different. If you don't have baking soda, you can use a whole teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, so I'm just going to put all this into here, and with a whisk I am going to mix all my ingredients together, my dry ingredients in here. Make sure that the cinnamon gets incorporated with the flour and salt and the baking powder. Okay, now that we have this ready, I'm going to leave it on the side, and I'm going to get my small mixing bowl, and here I am going to use my eggs, my teaspoon of vanilla, my melted butter. By the way, I'm going to put my butter, I'm using margarine today, okay? I'm going to put 20 seconds so that the butter melts. And as I said, I am using margarine today, okay? Now, I am going to show you my bananas. You need to use ripe bananas. You know, when you don't want to eat the bananas because they are brown, this is the perfect moment to make the banana bread. Okay, now we have our margarine ready, melted. Okay, so I'm going to start with smashing my bananas very well. You use a fork, and you need to get like a puree of bananas. So this is pretty much what you need to do. I'm using 2 bananas, but you can use 2 or 3 depending on how many you have that are already ripe. Okay. There we go. Okay, so now my bananas are well mashed. As you can see, oops, this fell on the table. And I am going to put them in my small mixing bowl. bowl where I am going to also put my eggs. Okay, let's put that there. And 2 eggs, 2 large eggs. I always use large eggs for recipes, for sweet recipes. And we have the melted butter here that we also want to pour. 50 grams of melted margarine I used. Okay, and now I have my teaspoon of vanilla. Okay, so now that this is ready, I'm going to get my electric hand mixer. Now that this is mixed, I am going to pour my wet ingredients into my dry ingredients. Okay, and I am going to again mix with my hand mixer. Now that we have this already mixed, I'm just going to scrape my walls in my bowl to make sure that everything is incorporated. And at this point, you can use a cup of walnuts, or you want to put some chocolate chunks in here, whatever you prefer. I'm going to show you my bowl that I'm going to use, my baking dish. Okay, it's like a loaf, and here what I'm going to do is I have put some butter already, and now I'm just going to sprinkle some flour in here, and just go like this, give it a little hitting, okay, so that the butter goes covered with the flour. Don't bother if you get some more flour in your baker, okay? So now that my dish is ready, remember we have preheated our oven to 180 degrees, and now I'm going to pour my batter in here, and I'm just going to give it a little bit of a twist because of the flour that fell. And whenever this is ready, I am going to put it in the oven. Okay. So now, this is ready to go in the oven. Just remember that it's going to take like 45 minutes to an hour. I would say that depending on your oven, once you go for the 45 minutes, you should pinch it and see if it's already cooked or not, okay? So I'll let you for now, and I'll show you my banana bread when it comes out of the oven. So this is our banana bread. Let me show you how it looks like this. Can you see it? It's thick. We're gonna just check one more time if it's ready. Mine took like an hour to be completely done. And just remember, you don't need to throw your ripe bananas because you can use them to make a delicious banana bread. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy the recipe, and see you on the next video. Bye.